What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Profab Headers and Exhaust, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What is going on? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up?
Woo! What's up with you on a Monday?
Man, running ragged, dude. We got a lot going on with work. A lot of people out sick with the COVID and the flu and all that.
Really?
And,
Thought we was getting over all that.
I was hoping. But yeah, so it's running crazy through our shop. I think we got 4 people now that's out.
Well.
And when you ain't got but 14, that's a good percentage of people. So yeah, so it's tough, and doing some road stuff, plant site work, and managing that. It's just a lot going on, but it's all good. Nothing wrong with it. Blessed to have work, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It could be a lot worse, I guess. It's
yeah, no doubt.
Tough when you ain't got help, but it could be a lot worse, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Well, it has been it was a busy weekend. Well, I say weekend. It was a weekend, obviously, but boy, I feel like the work week just kind of carried over for me. How about you?
Well, the weekend was pretty busy for a little while. I mean, I guess it was, well, I don't know if it was busy or wasn't busy, but it seemed like it was busy. It was stressful because Mary Stephen had to write a 15-page paper. I don't think I've ever written 15 pages in my entire life.
I was going to say, I don't think I've written 15 pages total. Ever.
No, I don't honestly think. And my mom pretty much wrote all my papers when I was in high school. So
mine too.
I appreciate it. Exactly. And you make a lot better on the same paper, but that's for another day. That's not. I hope Miss Elmore ain't listening. I doubt very seriously she is.
I think we passed the statute of limitations. So.
I'm pretty sure we are. I can't revoke or whatever our stuff now. So anyway, yeah. So she did that. Stressful on her for sure to get that done. She did good, a lot better than I would have ever done. So, yeah, did that, and then went to church and all Sunday. That was fun. Enjoyed that, and went back to church last night for the Christmas program, which well, you were part of course, and been practicing for quite a while now.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that was Well, I go with my week a little bit. I went there last Wednesday and started helping them. They've been practicing for months for this play. But I went in there Wednesday and started helping, make sure we get all the mics straight and all that good stuff, just trying to help out. I knew I had a part in it. We still didn't practice my part, which there wasn't much to do for my part. So I could handle it. But anyway, so trying to get all the mics straight, get all, I was helping the sound guys, helping the sound booth out, trying to help them get all that straight, just so we keep it in order, keep it in line, all that good stuff. So we did all Wednesday night, ran a little over an hour Wednesday night, which wasn't too bad. We had dress rehearsal on Friday night. That went a little better, a little bit better. It went good. But that's when I found out what my part really entailed. So, so did that. Then Saturday, I had stuff going on. I'll tell you about in just a minute. But then Jackson had he played T-ball or baseball or whatever you want to call it on the Miracle League this past year, and they had their Christmas party at our church. So we had to head over to that Saturday evening. Got up Sunday morning, got to church. It felt like, I don't know, it's just something when you're used to doing things a certain way, and I guess I'm just a creature of habit, as we mostly all are, to some extent anyway. We had all the Christmas play stuff, a lot of it on the stage already, because it's big props and stuff, big scene props stuff. They can't just, throw up in a couple minutes. so it had to be up for Sunday morning, which was all good. But it just moved us all on stage, and just trying to get everything straight up there was just different. And so it just felt like more work for some reason, even though it really wasn't. It's just, I don't know. It's just, but it ended up good. Ended up fine. Had a great service Sunday morning. And like Sterling said, we was back Sunday night. Well, I say Sunday night. I was there at about 3:30.
Yeah.
And we got done at what? A little after 7?
About 8 or so.
8?
7,
Was 8?
8 something. Yeah, I think I can't remember. Somewhere along in there.
Phew. So, yeah, I was wide open. But my part, just so everybody knows, I thought I played it well.
You did.
They had this. The program was called Straight Out of Bethlehem, which was cool. But it was kind of based, I guess, being on a farm, which was kind of. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was good. It's just kind of weird the way it was. I don't know. It was cool. But anyway, it's like the stuff they're talking about. And they had like these rappers and stuff. And even Cole had a little rapping part in there.
Yeah, he did. He had a rapping part.
And but yet it was based on a barn, a farm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, whatever. But anyway, so I was a dancing donkey.
And you look just like a dancing donkey. You did a great. If a dancing donkey would dance, that's what it would look like right there. So you must have YouTubed a dancing donkey because you knew it. You had it.
I found him. I channeled my inner donkey.
Yes. Marvelous job.
No, but the kids did good. They did real good. Cole had a.
They did awesome. Yeah.
Cole he was Joseph.
Yeah, he was Joseph. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he had a good bit of, and I was very surprised because me, I would have probably got up there and seen all those people, and I'd have been like, nah. Somebody come stand in for me. I'm done here.
Nah.
But he did good. He did awesome, man. He had one little hiccup, but I mean, shoot, that was great.
It was really funny because he actually, I think, did better in front of everybody than he was doing in practice.
Really?
Yeah, he was kind of being the shy, bashful Cole.
Yeah.
In practice, the normal, in practice, yet in the play when it done it, he was good to go.
Oh, he was, man. He got a little rapping deal going on there, and he hammered that, dude. He did good. I was real proud of him.
He's got a future. He's got a future. It's not being a rapper. It's not being a rapper, but he's got a future. I don't know what it is yet, but it's not being a rapper.
No, it is not. But I can tell you one thing. For every song, she's gonna be definitely on the stage. Probably
Blakely
more years to come.
Blakely was loving it. She was loving it. She was during practices. Woo! She was wide open. It was a couple times Blakely sit still. Blakely sit still. She was having fun.
Yes, she definitely was. There is no shy bone in her body. That's for sure.
Nah, them two were polar opposites.
Yes, for sure. So, but it was really good, awesome show. Glad they were able to play part in it, and Cole was one of the wise men, 3 wise men last year.
Yeah.
Didn't have a part really, but this year he moved up quite a good bit. So we'll see about next year.
Jackson's out there. He actually started singing some songs. I was watching him.
He did, yeah.
He was chilling. He was watching the play.
Yeah, he was turning around. He's like, man, turn me around here. What you got me facing this way for? I can't see.
No, they did good. They all did good up there.
Yeah, sure did.
I was just glad we were keeping. When you got that many microphones on stage and you got one child that talks real low, and you got one child that yells in them, and you're trying to level them out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
That's difficult.
Yeah,
sure.
Because you turn somebody's mic up because they're speaking low. Well, they get beside someone who talks loud, and so it starts feeding into the other microphone. Then it starts feeding back. Then it's just like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So it was all good. It was fun. It was fun. So, and then Kayla even went today and helped tear down all the props from it. So,
well, it's a big show, that's for sure. And like you said, they started in September, I think, practicing, and I heard them say the other day they talking about starting in August next year practicing. So.
it's possible. It's possible because it's crazy, and I ain't talking trash about nobody, but there were still a few that
yeah.
I mean, some of them got
fright.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just some stage fright. Some of them love it. And it's really funny because there's one girl. Well, she kind of had one of the lead parts, I guess. She kind of did most of the talking in there. Man, she was on it.
Yeah. Oh, sure. She sure is. She definitely been practicing.
Yeah. So anyway, glad that's done over with. But that just means Christmas is getting real close.
Yes, it is. Y'all, are you shopping done?
Done. You got to start it to get done.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, Mary Stevens out shopping right now. So I think she's knocking most of it out.
I don't ever do early shopping. Because I'm one of them people.
Well, I always say every year, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it in October. 1st of November, we're going to get it done. Never happened.
See, my thing is, and I'd love to do that and love to say that and all that fun stuff. And I could, I guess, but my thought is, and this has always been my thought, no, I'm not changing on it. If I wait, because if I go early, and then I, kind of like something for one person, but I'm like, I don't know, blah, I'll wait and, see if I can find something else. No, that don't happen if you go late. Nope. You got to find something right then. So you will make yourself go find something and get done with it.
That's true. That is very true.
So yeah, because I know me, I would look at stuff and I'd be like, I kind of like that, but I don't know. I would second guess myself 15,000 times buying for somebody else, and
right.
And if I go later, I just don't even second guess myself. I'm just like, here we go, get that for that one, this for that one.
Yeah. So.
When I know. And it's bad to say, and I'm not trying to throw shade at nobody, but I know probably half of the people that I'm buying anything for really don't care.
Right. Don't matter.
Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. So we'll get it done here soon. Pretty soon. Well, I reckon should we share the other news?
Well, I guess you need to share your Christmas present that you got. I guess that can be considered a Christmas present.
I guess so. Well, if y'all follow us on Facebook or any of the social medias, I think pretty much, you probably already know this, but if not, you can go in there and look at it. My race team, Lucky 13 Motorsports, will be fielding a Charger Challenger type late model next year, with yours truly driving it.
Yes, sir.
Primary sponsor on there, Palmetto Machine and Fabrication.
Yeah, how about that?
Along with Effingham Iron Works, and we got a few more coming on. So I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be part of it, and I know that's going to be a different avenue in some ways than the Legends car, but I think it was perfect the way it worked out. I think you had, having a year in the Legends car, kind of getting back used to the seat and the whole, how everything's working around the racetrack, and then you get that this year. I think it's going to be good, and it puts on for some awesome racing in that class too. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I am looking forward to it. We getting it together, and well, I was pretty fortunate. The one we got, it was pretty much ready to go. We got little odds and ends to do to it. But nothing at all major. Ended up coming across, and it was really funny because I looked at this one, that one, talked to people about this one, that one, went and seen these, and but yeah, I was kind of looking for something. This class that we're running, the Challenger class over at well, that's kind of based out of Dillon Motor Speedway, but they run it around different places, and it's pretty much Charger car or could be a limited late model even. Very few differences actually. Just the Challenger portion of it, the car has to be so old, and I'm not even sure how old it is, but I know that's the thing. Can't be a brand new car. Can't be. We run scuff tires, stuff like that. So it's kind of it's basically you run a late model, but economically, even more economically. So, which is what we want to do. We're not. I'd love to, I'd love to have a late model stock and run the cars tour and all that stuff, but I know that's not going to happen. So, I don't have that time, and I don't have the multi-millions of dollars to devote to that, as a lot of those teams do now. A lot of them do. Some of them don't. Some of them are able to do it, and, make fun out of it. But anyway, it's just not what I'm going to be able to do. So me and my dad got to talking, and he had really kind of brought up more than me. I was good just driving the Legend car. I mean, I have fun driving the Legend car. We had even looked at an Allison Legacy car, and that was what we kind of thought we were going to go get at one point, and kind of come up to it, and he said, would you be happy driving the Allison Legacy? I said, honestly, I'd be happy driving anything. I really don't care. I said, I'm good driving the Legend car. He's like, I know. He said, I want to get something little more. He said, something that we ain't going to have the tire issues that we're having in the Legend car right now, too.
Right.
And so he said, what you think about just trying to find we skipping street stock, all that. Well,
you got one. You got one. For sale.
It's for sale. That's a whole nother can of worms with street stock right now, in my opinion. That is probably for a class that should have been very, very economical become non-economical anymore.
That's what I was about to ask you. It's probably more expensive to run a street stock on asphalt now than it is the Charger car.
Well, if you're going to run mass street stock rules and stuff like that, and I'm not down on anybody that does, because if you can do it, more power to you. It is a fun class to watch. I love watching them. I think I can run this car even, cheaper. Now, I've seen daggone mass street stock cars get out there in the limited late model class or the Charger class or whatever and run right with them. So that tells you what kind of cars they are.
Exactly.
Motor rules are pretty much the same. But anyway, I wanted to get a car that was new enough that we wouldn't have trouble finding parts for, because there was a couple come up, good prices and stuff, but started looking at them. Well, they don't make this chassis anymore. If you got to find A-arms or something like that for it, you're probably just going to have to find something that will fit. You ain't going to be able to just call them and they can make it fit, or, nothing like that. So I was like, well, we need something that they're still producing, a company that's still in business and stuff. So I don't know. I've seen them run. Personally, and I know there's all kind of chassis out there, but I know around this area, Hitchcock chassis have always been well known and easy to find parts for and all that stuff. So I was kind of leaning towards if we could come across a decent Hitchcock, I'd love to get in it or get it and see what we can do there. Well, when I put the post on Facebook last week saying that we were looking for something, first person that texted me actually was it was actually Kayla's cousin's husband, Brian Blackwell. He ran for a long time himself, ran trucks, ran street stocks, I think he runs some late model stuff, all this stuff. One at the 400 down at the beach in the truck. So he sent me this car. He said, man, you need to go look at this thing. He said, it's a good car. I called him, talked to him about it a little bit. So he gave me the guy's number and all that stuff, and I messaged him, and I told him I'd like to come. He told me a little bit about the car. He called me and told me a little bit about the car. So I asked him if we could come look at it Saturday. Yep, sounds good. I said, all right, we'll be there. Well, Saturday morning come. Met my dad over at his house, jumped in the truck. We headed over to Hartsville, South Carolina, which ain't but I think 35 minutes down the road. And there was a car, and talked to him for a little while there, and got right with the price. And he said, sounds good to me. I said, all right. I didn't think it was going to go quite that easy, so we didn't bring the trailer with us, so we had to go back home, get the trailer, turn around, go back and get it.
Yeah.
So got out there and pulled all the stickers off of it there Saturday night, and I never even sat in the car or anything. Got in it, the seat fits me. Seat's in a good spot for me. I mean, I was like, well, man, dang. So it's kind of one of them things. That's kind of how it feels. It's just like one of them. Well, that was the car we were supposed to have. So,
right.
So hopefully it'll be good.
Well, I believe so. It looks good, and up under everything that you've showed me, it looks really good and taken care of. Car don't like it's been in too many accidents by any means. And I know you say it's been clipped, but that's just out of preference, I think. So, that may be a good thing. I mean, there's been a lot of race cars that have been handled and responded much better with being clipped.
Well, my whole thing is with a car, and I know some people have differing opinions on clip. When somebody hears, well, it's being clipped, blah, 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 you kind of, some people don't like it and whatever. Well, my thought is if it goes to the person, chassis. The chassis builder that built it to begin with, to clip it, and they put it on the jig, and that's where they put the clip back on that, front clip back on. I have no problem with that. I mean, that's you probably, and obviously when they put a new one on, they probably updating it somewhat. So,
right.
So this older car, I know that technically the front end on it is pretty new. So,
well, and like you and I talked, the rear clip don't matter. Front clip being new is probably. That's a lot of your 90% of your handling right there in the front end. So, if it was done right, which I know it was, being newer, it's going to be a lot better. So,
I think so. I know a lot of people have differing opinions about that, but I mean, I've been over the car, and I'm not going to profess to anybody to be a asphalt late model expert by no means, because I'm not. But we're going to get it and try it this year. I know that. I think we can. Now, in saying that, it's not like I'm just jumping in one of these cars for the first time ever. I have driven them before, so I know what I'm getting into. Before anybody's like, oh, you don't know what you're getting into. I know what I'm getting into. I know exactly what I'm getting into. And I got some friends. I know my good friend Chad Webster, he's already called me. Said, man, anything we need to do to make it go fast, I'm here. My buddy Connor Lee, he's already messaged me. He's like, man, we going to test this day. You need to come out there with us. We need to get that thing rolling, And that's the thing. Connor will be, and this is why I like Connor so much. Connor will be a competitor in not one, but two classes. Both of us drive legend cars. Exactly. Both of us drive that. And he wants the car to get out there and go as fast as his does, just so we can race together.
Right.
So, it's that's always fun, and that's how it is around here. That's why I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people don't get along around here, but there's we kind of got our groups out there and us and Connor and Chad and all them over there. We sit down there in the corner and do our thing, and typically end up on the good side of it. So it's
yeah, definitely. Well, my question to you is that you can maybe answer that. Learning Legends car took some time, and it's still taking time, I think. But y'all pretty much grasped that, understanding how to get the car to react to how you want it to. What is the difference in a late model learning that side of it is that going to be totally different, or are you going to be more easily to grasp that?
I don't think it's going to be as much different as you would think, or as one would think. The reason being is there's actually, if we go look at a front end on a legend car, or go look at a front end on a late model. All right, on a late model, you have A-arms. On a legend car, you also have you have A-arm, but the thing is, you have control arm, but you also have these radius rods that run everywhere, and that controls all your angles of everything. You know, your caster, your camber, everything. So it's not just like there's no upper A-arm on a legend car.
Right.
Everything's controlled off of that. So taking that out, yes, you still can. Obviously, it's got shims in it, as a lot of late models do, which I like, to change your camber in there. Caster, the way these are set up, is pretty much built in. Where on the rear end, it's a 3-link type deal on a legend car, and it's got 2 radius rods that go to the back holding the rear end, or trailing arms, I guess you could kind of call them. And you can adjust those to kind of skew your rear end one way or the other. And then got your link up top. This car is a truck arm car. So, yeah, there's adjustment on that, but it's very similar to the legend car. I mean, you're going to adjust your rear end to kind of turn one way or the other. And, you know, you got your bar there on top. But other than that, same. So kind of in a way, you just kind of upsizing to an extent.
Right.
Obviously, the cars react differently. I assume, and that's what everybody's told me. You know, to the same changes. You know, you make legend car. We got to make very slight changes. I mean, 1/16, 1/8 of an inch makes a huge difference in a legend car. I got a feeling you got to make a little bigger swing, not too big, much bigger.
But that's kind of what I was wondering. But because, you know, wheelbase difference, just the square footage, if you will, of the race car itself. I mean, you know, I think you got to. It's just bigger scale, like you say.
Exactly. But I think the biggest thing that's different from a legend car to that style of car is going to be the horsepower to weight ratio. This car has more horsepower, but it weighs a whole lot more. So technically the horsepower to weight ratio is less. I guess that's the way we go. Less horsepower to the weight. Yeah, that's right. Legend car, you get on the gas and it just lights up tires. Mine does anyway. And with 1250, I know some of them say the F09 is not as bad on that. My 1250 lights the tires up if you stand on it. I don't care if you're coming out the corner, it spins tires constantly. And yes, you can do the same thing in a Charger car. Difference is you just got a lot more car sway in there. You got more time to react. A legend car reacts very quickly, and you have to react very quickly to it. There's just no hanging it out and holding it there hardly.
Right.
It's just so quick to react. So I think it there's some things that you take over probably good from a legend car to a big car, and there's probably some things you take over bad because just like going in a corner, getting loose in a legend car, I've got to react quickly because whatever's going to happen in a legend car is going to happen very quickly. This car, being you got a lot, the biggest thing is the size tire. Just you got a bigger tire.
Right.
So go in there, roll it in the corner. You know what I'm saying. I mean, things happen quickly, but you just got a little more.
Well,
you got a little more spring, a little more travel, a little bit more tire and everything to lean on.
Exactly. Well, that's all I was gonna say. I mean, I think learning car control with a Legends car will help you. I think it'll slow things down so much and make it quicker for you in a late model. Just because it's kind of like Kyle Larson in a sprint car versus Kyle in a cup car. It's probably slow motion to him in that versus the sprint car, but just because it's just so quick.
Right.
Legends car is so quick. I mean, it's quick to respond on anything.
Right.
I think it would definitely help.
Well, I mean, and I don't know. We'll see when they get out there, but like Carson Ferguson even told me now he's on the dirt side of things now, but he drove legend cars for years and years and years on asphalt. That was his thing, and he told me flat out. He said, if you can drive a legend car, you can drive anything. So, and I believe that. I mean, we talked to Butterbean here the other week. He done the same thing. He said, the legend car probably can teach you some bad habits and that's like we were just talking about, going in there and overreacting too quickly, I guess, probably.
Right.
But he said he enjoyed legends and enjoyed moving up from it. Connor, same way. Connor jumps in one and he does both in the same night, which is what I'm going to be doing. So we'll see. We'll see quickly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good, man. I'm excited for it. The other question that I had was, the difference in the Challenger car versus a late model stock or a limited late model, if you will. I know in that class you can run a built motor with a certain carburetor, or you can run a crate motor with a certain carburetor. So elaborate on that a little bit. What is the difference, and what does it take to move up in that same car?
Built motor, which is what we have. We got a built 350 in it. We can run a 350 carburetor, 350 CFM carburetor, 2-barrel. On a crate motor, it has to be a sealed crate motor, can't touch it, which is kind of actually what I'd like to have, but this came with the car, so that's what we're going to run right now. You can run a 2-barrel 500 carburetor. Now, in saying that, I've seen guys on either combination go out and run up front. So I think the rule is good. I mean, I don't think it's really showing advantage from one to the other. Now, if you had a built motor with a 500 carburetor, that might be real good. But
yeah.
But so I think that's pretty much good. To move up, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you a lie because I don't know. I think for the most part there is it's chassis wise everything very similar to late model stock. All that. I'm not exactly 100% sure on the motor combinations for late model stock now, just because I hadn't looked at them. We'll find out. We'll find out here shortly.
That's right.
Find out here.
Go enter the 400 next year, buddy.
Hey, who knows? Hey, we get enough laps around there, and we know times we run and shoot. We might just start. Is a good thing.
Exactly. Yes,
no,
sir.
I mean limited late model and late model stock are very, very simple because the limited late model winners from Friday night at Florence got an automatic entry into the 400, automatic provisional starting spots. So,
that's what I'm wondering. That's just, I know that's something you got to look into, but be interesting to see what that difference is to get in there because chassis age, you can say what you want. I don't see where I can't see where that's a winning combination is having a brand new chassis.
I mean, I could see, the help, but I think the biggest thing is getting them 4 shocks and springs around that car.
Exactly.
Dialed in right.
You could put 2025 shocks on it. It don't matter there. So, I think that can make a difference.
Well, and that's the big thing about our classes. Yeah, you can go spend money on the Challenger class. You can go spend money on shocks if you want to, but if you're running a Challenger race, there's a claim rule on the shocks. So,
well, don't go by the 2025 shocks.
no, I'm not. Not for that. Not for that. I will not. If we run it, I will take those off for that race.
Good. I'll make sure you don't forget. I'm gonna make sure.
Because it's not very expensive to buy it, and that's what I like about it. They trying to keep it cheaper. I like that.
Right.
So anyway, we'll be testing here in the next few weeks, hopefully, and go see what should do. So,
well, man, I'm ready. Can't wait.
Me too.
Good Christmas present for sure.
Yeah. For sure. Well, cool. Well, let's head over to the phone real quick to talk to the people I know I'm going to be making some orders with here soon.
This is Hot Laps, presented by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new installment of Hot Laps, as you just heard there. This week on the show, Hot Laps, we got somebody that's not in Charlotte this time, finally. Aaron, what is going on? He is at SRI Indy. Aaron, how's it going, man?
It's going, man. It's going all right. How are you?
I am wonderful. How's the good old Indy weather treating you out there?
It's not too bad today, about 42, but it's been pretty cold lately.
I heard from some guys that were out at PRI this past week that it was a little chilly there at night. They're not used to that.
Yeah, they never get good weather for that, so it's never a good taste in anyone's mouth that comes up.
That's all good, though. It's all good. So, anyway, Aaron, we want to get started with you here. As always, we got a few questions for you. We want to talk a little bit about you, a little bit about the shop up there. So, man, let's get started with it. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do there at SRI Indy?
Well, I guess the title would be operations manager. Pretty much do it all. There's only 3 of us that work there full time. And we got a salesman that works the front counter. We got a delivery driver, and then there's me. So pretty much wear all the hats, accounting and, billing and sales and everything pretty much but deliver, shipping, receiving, whatever the day calls for, I'm doing it. So
it's not it's a 3-man band over there.
That's right. 3-man band.
I like it. How long have you been there?
Probably been there. Come April, it'll be 4 years.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I like to, it seems like everybody that works, well, even in the industry, but it seems like SRI and in particular, even Stock Car Steel, you have to love racing to kind of work in this industry. and typically you have somewhat of a background in it. So what was your background in racing before you came over to SRI?
Yeah, so my dad's worked in IndyCar for 30 years. So ever since I've been alive, I've experienced that aspect and that genre of racing. So definitely grew up around it, and not much of a wrench turner. So I had to find my own way to get into the sport, and this just happened to be a good way to get into it.
Well, good deal, man. Well, good deal. So all right, I'm just going to ask you, with SRI especially, all forms of racing come in there. If you are headed to your favorite racetrack on the weekend to watch your favorite type of racing, what type of track, what type of racing you going to?
I mean, man, if I'm putting one race, one track, it's got to be the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indy 500. Obviously my dad growing up doing it and watching. He's been lucky enough to win a couple of them, and been around that deal, and it's been just absolutely crazy. So that would be my preferred destination on any given Sunday.
There you go. I've always said I want to, and I do. I want to make it out there one day for that. I hadn't made it out there for that yet, so I'm gonna get out there one day.
Yeah, it's surreal. I mean, I know Daytona's probably it's similar, if not, the same atmosphere. So if you've ever been there,
oh yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool stuff, man. All right, well, speaking of Indy, PRI was just out there this past weekend. Man, I know you say you wasn't around it a whole lot there, but SRI always puts up a big booth there and cool stuff, man. Tell us a little bit about how successful you think that show is for companies like SRI.
Yeah, I mean, what it boils down to is, networking, connections, and, personal relationships, and no better way to make those impressions and talk to people you might not get to see face to face normally, only email or phone call or whatever. It's really nice to put a face to a voice, and 3 days isn't a long time, but there's a lot to get done, and I think it helps a lot when, especially for the indie guys, we're not that small or not that big like performance, so to get out there and really spread the word and let people know that there is a SRI here in Indianapolis, and that goes a long way. We get guys trickle in all year long and say, hey, I got a business card from PRI, or I talked to this guy at PRI. So, I don't know. It's definitely a lasting effect all year long, the PRI show. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, okay. Well, after going there, so tell us a little bit about your location. I mean, what is being, let's see, over here on the East Coast, we are stock car, everything, and I say stock car, not just stock car, but it is either asphalt round track or dirt round track. That is the majority of what we're doing out here. What type of products you selling out there, and what seems like the biggest movers out there?
Yeah, so definitely a different kind of genre and different people. We get a lot of obviously the IndyCar teams, a lot of open wheel stuff, the lower classes. Mostly all IndyCar teams are based in here. There's some exceptions, but the bulk of them are here, and the bulk of the heavy hit drag guys, the top fuel, the alcohol guys. We're on a street locally known as Nitro Alley. There's about 5 or 6 drag teams that are on our street. There's a couple IndyCar teams, so we're right in the middle of all that. We do get a lot of dirt sprint car guys, but mostly our business comes from the NHRA or the IndyCar scene, or the smaller ladder series below it. That's mostly what we do. As far as product goes, we sell mostly everything that performance does. Obviously, they tend to cater to a different thing, but as far as like abrasives and consumables go, we carry the same amount of stuff. We're kind of a mixture of performance and stock car steel. So half the shop is all consumables and engine parts, Del West valves, cosmetic gaskets, and then the other side is raw material, just like stock car sheets, roll cage material. So kind of a trifecta of all the performance supplies and stock car steel.
All right. Well, out of all that, let's narrow it down to something cool that's in the shop. What's something cool that you like a product that just, let's say, I just walk in there, it's like, show me something cool, I want to see it. What is the product that you're going to highlight and just really sell me?
Man.
I know that's a very specific question, but
Yeah. Let me think about that one. Ooh.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, man.
Let's go. Let's go in something drag racing. Let's go. If I'm drag racing out there, what's something you got on the shelf there, brand wise, that you're just gonna really point me to that I need to go look at?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a Simpson parachute,
There you go.
and a pilot chute. They obviously need those on the back of the heavy hitters out there, and safety is a huge concern for those guys. Obviously, going down the track at 300 miles an hour plus, so definitely some safety equipment will be of importance to you.
Good deal. All right. Same question though, but if in the IndyCar, because I'm gonna be honest with you, IndyCar, I love watching them. I don't know anything about them because we don't ever see them out here. So what is something out there that you can put on the IndyCars?
This might ring a bell. We sell a lot of helicopter tape. I know how do I say it? A NASCAR driver's team put some on the front of a bumper maybe this year, and maybe got in trouble for it.
Yeah,
Totally legal in IndyCar. So we sell from 1 inch wide to 18-inch wide rolls of this clear, pretty much paint protection, and they pretty much wrap the entire car seams all up in this tape. And it's pretty high dollar stuff, but it makes the car obviously more aerodynamic. And then we do the underbelly of all Indy cars have skids. They're made out of either stainless, aluminum, this phenolic material, which is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jabrock, but it's almost like wood, I guess.
I got you.
We provide that material for the cars. They go, as you can imagine, they're super low to the ground, and they're bouncing and hitting off every bump, so they run through skids pretty frequently. So they come in 3 different parts, and they got nice, pretty holes in them. They look real nice and shiny. So
nice. Cool. See, that's stuff I didn't know about IndyCar. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I need to know. I need to check all this out. Oh, all right. So going in, we're closing. Man, it feels like it just got started, but we're coming to an end here in 2022. Going through 2022, coming into 2023. Man, what's it looking like for SRI Indy?
Man, the last couple months are kind of the slow months for us at the end of all the seasons and stuff, and going into fall, a lot of the guys wrap it up and go vacation and stuff. But I mean, come January 1st, sponsorship money rolls in. People start, rebuilding their cars. A lot of the drag guys have to front half, back half their rigs and trailer repairs. So the months leading up to the season are usually pretty busy for us. January, February, March are pretty good months for us. A lot of metal runs out of there. About engine valves, they're getting ready for Chili Bowl down there in Oklahoma. So, definitely slow season's on. After Christmas, it's pretty much over for us. So, pedal to the floor come January 1st.
Love it. Well, man, I want to ask you, or want to mention here real quick. I know I've had people before, that we've talked through on social media and stuff. They say they want to use SRI, but they hear about SRI over here in Mooresville. But what they don't realize, and they're in the Midwest or something like that, and I want you to tell everybody how y'all can get all the same stuff and yet ship it to them a lot cheaper because you're a lot closer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's pretty much we kind of made it as a one-stop shop. I mean, you can pretty much get anything you need to go racing. I mean, whether it's stocking stuff for the trailer, consumables, tire wraps, tapes, brake clean. Anything like that. To the whole tubes, to the chassis, aluminum sheets, to the body panel, Zeus fasteners, NAS hardware, engine bearings, engine valves. I mean, we can get you pretty close. And like you said, we're in the Midwest. We're not too far. So, I mean, from Mooresville out west is pretty far. So if there's anywhere in the middle that can get you there even faster than 2 or 3 days from Mooresville and cheaper. UPS it's obviously good for the racers and good for us. So it's
good stuff.
It's nice to have us here in the middle.
Definitely is. Well, man, cool deal. All right, well, these winter months are definitely hitting us, man. And Christmas coming up. So, man, what kind of stocking stuffers y'all got around there? That we can put in some stockings or something. I don't know. Maybe y'all got some apparel or something out there we can throw in there.
Yeah, I think we got some hats and definitely some T-shirts, some shot glasses if that's your style. So I'm sure we can make a nice stocking stuffer for some people.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, cool deal, buddy. Well, man, I sure do appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us for this week's edition of Hot Laps, and sure appreciate it. And can't wait to one day get out there and see the shop, meet y'all guys.
Of course, man. Stop by whenever. All
right, guys. Well, this has been this week's edition of Hot Laps and with Aaron. All right, I sure appreciate Aaron jumping on with us from SRI Indy. Cool stuff out there. So yeah, guys, if you are in the market from anything that you will typically buy from SRI Performance or Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, but you're located in the Midwest there, head over to SRI Indy, and if you need something shipped to you, like I just said, it'll be, obviously you're closer, so less weight, less shipping cost. So head over to SRI Indy and get everything you need there from those guys. But as always, like we talk about on here, SRI Performance guys, they're your one-stop shop for all things racing, as we always talk about. So, guys, just as Aaron was talking about with SRI Indy, head over to SRI Performance. Aaron talked about they got a lot of stuff for the nitro guys and drag racing scene and the Indy cars just because of their location. But they also sprint cars, stuff like that. But guys, any of that stuff, if you're located here on the East Coast, head over to SRI Performance. If you don't have it, they'll get it. Most likely, they probably got it, or they can call their friends at SRI Indy if they got it. So all works out. But if you're shopping online, go to www.sriperformance.com. Fill up that buggy like I'm gonna need to do for my car. Oh no, I really don't need much. There's some little stuff I need. There's some tools and stuff I need around the shop. So I need jack stands. I need good racing jack stands. I got regular jack stands. They work great. But I need a good set of racing jack stands with a bottom plate on them for the track. All that good stuff. So I'll head over to SRI Performance and load up my shopping cart there online. And I'm going to put in promo code CBONE10. The C is in?
Chicken.
BONE10. Get myself 10% off there at time of checkout. So you'll definitely want to do that. Guys, get all the help you can. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get all the raw materials you'll need to make that car not only look good, but be structurally sound, I guess we'll say.
That's right.
And so that's what you always need there, guys. And whatever you're building, not just race cars, but whatever you're building, head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get all the material needs that you need taken care of. Who knows what you need? Some painted aluminum sheets, some roll bar tubing, whatever. Go get it.
Anything. Like I always say, deer stands.
Deer stands. It's about the end of deer season around here.
Yeah. Hey, you can get ready for next year.
You're ready for turkey season. Sit and stand for turkeys. Most people don't, but you can.
You can. Do what you got to do.
Sterling, do turkeys fly?
The pterodactyls do. I don't know about turkeys.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, but yeah,
They
guys,
land on top of your deer stand. That's for sure.
they will
do
land on
that.
top of you. They was tired. They was ready to go roost.
Yes.
Oh, good stuff. Also, guys, head over to our friends there at Profab Headers and Exhaust. It's that time of year that if you got some Profab headers and exhaust, you want to make them look good again. You want to make that car just stand out at the first of the year. Send them back over there to them guys, and they will put them in their polisher. That tumbler rock polisher they got, man, them things are awesome. They're huge. They're awesome. They're really cool looking and just really cool functioning, obviously. But they'll make those headers come out looking brand new. It's a pretty cool deal. So, or if you don't have any yet, guys, call our buddy Andrew Garris over there at Profab Headers and Exhaust. He can hook you up with a set for your 2023 season. So, y'all head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Get yourself hooked up with them for sure.
Yep.
And they pair well, always do, with our good friend Earl Ramey Racing Engines. They pair well with them. They you want to get the most horsepower out of your ride, get yourself an Earl Ramey Racing Engine paired up with some Profab headers. Get anything else you need from SRI Performance. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So,
Okay.
Earl's got anything from, as we say all the time, guys, crate engines. If you need a built super late model motor, he's got it. Or he's going to get it, or he's going to build it for you to whatever your liking is. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Tell me sent you. I may be heading over there soon myself. You never know.
Never know.
Never know. Well, guys, I want to go ahead and bring up our friends MPM Marketing, Tanya over there at MPM. Like I always say, guys, if you're looking to advance your racing career, you need to get in front of the faces that you need to for all kind of reasons, for sponsorship, for getting put in a ride. I mean, for everything, for these part suppliers even. Tanya is your go-to. When you pair up with MPM Marketing, you get put in front of the faces that you need to be put in front of. There are eyes on you that you might not even know are on you, but it's well worth it. So head over to marketwithmpm.com. Talk with our friend Tanya. And speaking of, let's go back to the phone line and speak with one of our MPM drivers here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone now. Gentleman coming off a win from this past weekend, did it in dominating fashion, but had some drama there at the end, to say the least. Mr. Jared Fryar, man, what is going on with you?
Oh, not much. Definitely soaking up the year, I would say. This weekend was a weird one, the way it ended. It started off good, and then the way that things kind of finished there was just not ideal. I mean, it worked out in our favor, but just definitely a weird way. I hate to lose one like that, but at the same time, they gotta do right. So
that's right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. I drive some myself, and I know exactly what you mean. But is it? I guess in my opinion, looking at it from the outside looking in, being that you had a qualified pole, you dominated the race. Does it make you just feel validated at that point to come back and then be declared the winner later on?
Yeah, I think it takes away a little bit of it, because for the fans' perspective, seeing different person cross start finish line first and not knowing exactly why, and then going through the whole celebration deal is just not the same. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a different feeling, and it makes it tough for everybody. I feel like in the deal for the other team, our team, and the fans too. So like I said, it sucks, but also at least they done right, and we got another big win on the year.
I was going to say that a check still cashes nicely though.
That's right.
Well, cool, man. Well, I want to we'll get into the race a little bit more, get your perspective throughout the weekend, but I want to go back, man. I like to get all our first time guests that come on the show here with us. I like to, go back in their racing career and let our listeners kind of learn who they are. So Jared, if you will, man, first I just want you to introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you drive, all that good stuff. But then we'll go back a little bit in your racing career, if you will.
Yeah, I'm Jared Fryar. I'm originally from Trinity, North Carolina. I started racing quarter midgets when I was 10. And then slowly moved into legend cars and the Sportsman Limited, and now in supers, and then now into late model stocks, and currently drive the 14 R&S race car late model stock for Jimmy Moore. And this year we didn't really follow any particular series or anything. We kind of bounced around and ran different races, NASCAR, Cars Tour, and some local stuff. So. We definitely had a good year, and probably one of the best years of my racing career.
Good deal. All right. Well, I want to go back to kind of the start there, man. Tell us how old were you when you started racing quarter midgets?
I was my first race I ran was January in Ohio for my 10th birthday, really, and then I started full season there when I was 10, and
okay.
Racing Salisbury, North Carolina. For, I guess, ran all up and down the East Coast really with the quarter midget deal for 3 or 4 years, I guess it was. And then, like I said, into legend cars for a little bit.
How'd you like legend cars?
Man, I really enjoyed legend cars. I felt like it taught me a lot and made me a better driver for sure, because they were a handful. I mean, everything I did, I felt like, and you should take away and learn something from it. The quarter midget, being able to race in tight quarters like that and be smooth, learned a lot there. And then the legend car was fun to be able to run the short tracks and the big tracks, but to learn the throttle control and the brakes and all that made it a lot easier transition into a late model or a full size car at that.
Well, that's and I was actually talking with my co-host earlier on the show about this, because in saying that, I run a legend car now myself, and we just bought we're going to run like a Challenger Series race down here, or races down here, Dillon, Florence Motor Speedway, and so that's kind of what we were talking about. Is what kind of difference is it going from a legend car to going to a full body big car, man? I mean, you just said you felt like it helped you transition, but is the change huge?
Oh yeah, I felt like a legend car is probably the hardest thing that I've drove so far. It's technically it's an open wheel car, so you can't really touch wheels without wheel hopping somebody or bending the suspension. The brakes are not real good on them. The grip level is very low, obviously, with little 8-inch tires or 6-inch tires, whatever they are, and they're real hard and lightweight cars, a lot of horsepower. So it makes it a lot of fun to drive and a good learning experience for sure. Where late model, you got big tires, soft tires, and really good suspension, and brakes. Where the legend car don't have any suspension, you can't really work on them and adjust on them like we do these late models. So it makes it a little bit harder to drive.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I feel a little more confident going into it now. Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, cool, man. All right. Well, we know you just touched on a little while ago. Obviously you moved to big cars now and doing big things. And but you said you've had you talked about this year just being awesome, man. Man, what's been different about this year just to make it so great?
Man, honestly, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I feel like, we've been racing with the Jimmy Moore team for 3 years now, so we've ran the same car for 3 years and built a good notebook and went to a lot of these tracks multiple times. So we've been able to put together a good notebook and set up, I feel like, for these racetracks, and then having all the right people in place, I feel like, to help us at the racetrack or at a shop, whatever it takes. Having the same people about every race this year, and picking out races I felt like we could really excel at and run good at. There's some tracks that are not my best, I would say. We've had good runs at, but just, didn't really feel that we were where we needed to be. And, running the tour is definitely tough. You learn a lot. And every weekend's different. Even if you've been there, it seems like it's always something's changed, whether it's the track or the tires. So to be able to kind of hit some of these racetracks twice this year, and like I said, build off our notebook, I feel like that really helped us, and keep focused. There's definitely a lot in it. A lot of people has helped me behind the scenes in this year's success. So definitely wouldn't be possible without all the people.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, I noticed, looking at your races and stuff, like you said, y'all had a great year, but it really seemed like after about midpoint of the season, it's like y'all really turned up, and I mean, just we're on it. We're contending for wins throughout the remainder of the year here.
Yeah, definitely. And I know some of that was, some of the tracks is really, that I really like and that we've run good at, I felt like, too. And I feel like once you get that weight off your shoulders of, breaking ice and getting a win for the year, it really kind of relaxes you even more, I feel like, than having that worrisome over you, I feel like. Because I worry a lot, when you don't win and aren't performing good, it really sucks. And I always got a lot on me, so it kind of took a little bit of pressure off and really could focus good. We definitely didn't run part-time, but we didn't run a full season. So we were able to focus a little bit better, I feel like, and like I said, pick the races apart and really focus in on what we needed to. It's definitely a good all-around balance, I felt like, for us.
Yeah, definitely so.
Because it's tough racing. It's tough racing 20-plus weekends a year, and like I said, different tracks during different times of the year, going to one track when it's hot, one track when it's cold. So there's a lot of variables change. It's tough, man.
That's right.
And then racing with the top level guys too.
Well, man, you've put it up there with those top level guys, though. I mean, that's been impressive this year, man.
Yeah, it's definitely felt good to be able to do that, and have good runs like that. It's really cool. I feel like it don't happen often. And to get a couple wins on the season like that was huge, and have good solid runs everywhere else too.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. I mean, it wasn't just the wins. I mean, you've had some solid finishes, solid days at the track, and they've looked good. Man, like you're just talking about, running 20-plus weekends a year and stuff. Obviously, like you said, y'all are not following a series. Y'all are jumping around race to race, kind of picking and choosing which ones y'all want to run. I know there are some people out there. They're them crazy people, I think, that just perform like crazy when, points and stuff are on the line. Do you feel like it took a little pressure off of you, picking and choosing races and not worrying about points so much and just going out there and focusing on that particular day?
Yeah, for sure. I think it did. I was able to kind of do some things with the race car that I probably wouldn't normally do, and take a little bit bigger chances. I feel like where points racing, if you're not going to be good, you still need to have a solid day. So you got to kind of make your car the best you can without messing it up is the biggest thing. So this year I felt like we could take some bigger chances and try some different things in races, and if it worked out, great. If it didn't, then we learn and move on. So I'd say things like that really kind of helped too. And then not being wore out, like it was pretty tough and pretty demanding on everybody running all them races like we did last year, and trying to get people together racetrack, because it's tough when you run 20 weekends a year. So to throttle back a little bit on the schedule, I felt like helped and took some pressure off, and just like I said, helped to focus.
I hear you there. All right. Well, they say you're only as good as your last race, so apparently you're pretty daggone good because that car looked awesome out there. Just rolling through it, man, and going. That was a long race, man.
Definitely probably the longest race I've run, I'd say.
That was,
And I wouldn't expected it with the car count. I didn't think there'd be that many cautions, but daggone if they didn't prove me wrong.
I think everybody got a little antsy there. All right. So going into the day, how'd the car feel? Obviously, it was good. I mean, looking at sitting on pole, leading 148 laps. How'd you feel going into the day, man?
I felt all right about it. I really didn't feel that good about it. I felt like we had a good car. I just didn't think the car was where I wanted it to be in the longer run. And then I was a little surprised by being on the pole too, because typically I ain't the best qualifier. So that was pretty good and pretty surprising to me. And I knew it was going to mean a lot at a place like that where it's very hard to pass. And, it's really only got one groove. So to be able to stay up front, that was the plan, to stay up front and try to lead all the laps and not get passed. Because, I felt like the cars are so close and so tight nowadays, man. It seems like if you get past, it's hard to get them back, even if you are a little bit faster than them. So I felt like we executed on that and done what we had to. And I feel like the pit strategy worked out for me, at least. I just didn't think that one tire was going to help us. I feel like it hurt us more than anything, and lose track position. So everything went right. I had good restarts. That was another important thing. They definitely tested me on that one, I would say, having that many restarts.
Yeah.
But car was good, and then obviously I threw it or had a caution and let us put fuel in it, which was not what I was expecting. And shoot, when we done that, our car only got better.
Nice.
And felt like it really helped us pull away from Stacy there at the end. And the guys that we were racing with, really, I mean, obviously the 88 was extremely fast at the end for obvious reasons. So it was good. It was, definitely the most laps I've ever led in one race.
Well, cool, man. Cool. Well, if anybody out there listening doesn't know exactly what you're talking about, passed with 2 to go by Doug Barnes Jr., who was for the lead, who was later disqualified because they went back, looked at video, and found out he changed another tire that wasn't supposed to be changed. So you were re-awarded with the win there. Like we talked earlier, man, it is, you hate to you hate to win it that way. I mean, kind of, whatever. I guess. I mean, like I said, everybody knows how dominant you were that were there. It stinks that when something like that happens and, they see the checker flag and they leave the track. Don't know what's going on. But did y'all have a clue about it before, while all that was taking place? Did y'all know about it, or was that something y'all found out later?
I honestly didn't know about it till after the race, and I knew something was suspicious because, hearing that he was the fastest car on the track when he hadn't been that fast all day and during the race, and then next thing you know, he's 2 tenths faster than me, and we were 1/10 faster than second place already, so I knew something was up. I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was up, and the only thing really can change during a race like that is putting a tire on.
That's right.
And it makes such a big difference on our cars in a long race like that. We don't usually run 150 lap races. I mean, we have run 200 lap races, but on the same set of tires, we usually don't run that many laps. And so when you run that many laps on the same set of tires, man, it's really hard on the tires. And anytime you can get a better tire on that long of a race, it's going to make a big difference.
No, yeah, you definitely aren't saving that much on
Right.
that tire. So, yeah, definitely see that. Well, cool, man, cool. So going through the race though, like you were just talking, man. I mean, did you just know from lap 1, man, we got the car to beat?
Yeah, I felt like once we fired off and got some heat in the tires, it started to come around, and it was pretty good. And I knew the other guys were pretty good. They definitely beat on me a little bit, but I knew they couldn't get by me, or didn't feel like they could. And as the longer the run got, I felt like we could pull away and stretch it out. So that was definitely key factor, especially there at the end when we were racing Stacy. He was pretty good on short runs and long run ramps. Seemed like we could kind of step away from him and kind of settle in ahead of him.
Nice. Cool deal, man. Well, congratulations again on the win there, and obviously on the good runs, man. I mean, you come off winning at Caraway for the Cars Tour season finale, runner up there at Thanksgiving Classic, Southern National. That had to feel pretty big.
Yeah, heck yeah, it was pretty cool to be able to lead there in the closing laps and compete for 50,000 like that. It was definitely what we went for, and almost sealed the deal. Come up a little bit short, but it's still a good run and nothing to hang our head on. We knew it was gonna be tough to outrun the Josh that race. I mean, he's best in the business right now, so we were hoping to pull it off, but come up a little bit short.
Oh man, that's impressive. When you go to a track like that, running against that caliper team, that really tells you what caliper team you have, and got to make you feel good at the end of the day about that.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. It definitely gives a big confidence booster, to be able to compete with that level of a car with one car operation that we have, and only been running late model stocks for a few years lately, so it's definitely a good feeling, and hopefully we can carry that on into next year.
Well, good deal, man. Talk about next year a little bit. What's 2023 looking like for you?
Oh, nothing really settled yet. Still working on getting a few things ironed out. We lost one of our major sponsors this year, which it's kind of leading us down the road that we're trying to put the pieces together for next year, because they were definitely a big part in our success and our race team this past year and the last 3 years, really. So working on trying to get that figured out and hopefully be back racing. Probably do the same schedule, not really focus on the tour or anything, just kind of hit and miss these bigger races.
Good deal. Well, as we always talk about on here, our good friend Tanya over at MPM, man. Speaking of sponsors and stuff, what does MPM help you with on that front?
Yeah, Tanya's been a big help this year. That was the first year with me working with her. She definitely helped promote me and get my name out there and get me in front of sponsors and potential sponsors too. So it was definitely a good experience working with her and everything. I know it was a little bit tough for her at times, not being at the race and stuff with us, but she done an awesome job this year and definitely done a good job of promoting us, and like I said, get me in front of sponsors and hopefully future sponsors.
Good deal. That's what we like to say on here every week, guys. MPM Marketing, Tanya, she's on top of her game over there, and if you are looking to advance your career in racing, you will not team up with anyone better than Tanya at MPM Marketing. Go head over to marketwithmpm.com and tell her we sent you. Well, cool, man. Well, who else on that car helping you out this year? Who all you got to thank?
Definitely got to thank Jimmy Morin, for giving me the opportunity to do this and race at this level. My dad, he's put a lot of time and effort in it the last 3 years, and Sterling Building Group's definitely provided a lot for us, and like I said, been a big part of our success the last couple of years. My spotter Tony's been with me from really the beginning of my late model racing and been a big partner in our success, I'd say, and having good runs. And luckily he was there with us every race this year, just about. Hemp Star come on board with us this weekend. Magic Made, David West, John West, everybody there built great motors for us this year, and even mobile homes, Bill's golf carts, RNS race cars, all my guys that help me at the shop and go to the racetrack too with us, really helps in it's nice to have them guys, man. Like I said, it makes it a lot easier. So just can't do it without all them.
Good deal, man. Yeah, you are 100% right. It's hard to do it without all the help you can get from everybody out there. Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us today, buddy. And like I said, congratulations again, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, and definitely got to thank Brandon Gray for stepping up this race and providing us the resources we need to get the racetrack and get the car ready to race. That was definitely a huge factor in this weekend. So can't thank him enough. I'm sure I left some more out, but just there's a lot of people, like I said, that go into my success that helped me, and can't do it without them.
There you go. Well, cool, man. Well, awesome, man. Well, hopefully we get you back on here soon, man. Coming in next year, talking about some more wins, buddy. I mean, or anytime. I don't really care. You know?
Yeah, heck yeah, sounds good, and hopefully we can do it.
Cool, man. Well, we sure appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us. We'll be talking with you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we appreciate every guest coming on here, but we really appreciate Jared Fryar for coming on here today, hanging out with us. He picking up win this past weekend there at Carteret County, and in dominating fashion, but yet didn't cross the line first, but ended up first after that crazy tire debacle there. So regardless, like I told him, hey, took home the check.
That's right.
That's what counts, right?
Exactly.
I can see what he's saying, though. I mean, when you don't go across the line first, fans leave when the race is over. And all they know is they saw whatever car go across the line first. They don't stick around for tech. And especially don't stick around for them watching video of an illegal tire change. So, you know, I can see it. But nah, but congratulations, Jared Fryar there. He picked up a few wins this year, had a phenomenal season. Like I told him, finishing second there at the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National. That's pretty big. I mean, obviously winning this race, another $10,000 race. But when you run second at a race with cars like that, comparable to the South Carolina 400, basically, a lot of cars just picked up from South Carolina 400 and went the next weekend to the Thanksgiving Classic there at Southern National, and it was cool to see him run second there to Josh Berry. I mean, he's hard to touch. Everybody knows that. So, good deal. Appreciate Jared coming on with us today for sure. Well, man, what you got ready for the rest of the week here?
Well, a little bit of work and a little bit more work, and some Christmas shopping, some Christmas wrapping. The whole 'tis the season time, you know.
Oh yeah, it is definitely the season.
Yeah, it is. I know you heavy in some Christmas movies right now.
I've been heavy in Christmas music for since like July.
I know this.
I'm always heavy in Christmas music, so I love it. Hallmark movies, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
I love it. They pick at me even at church. They're like, I sing and I play guitar, and even the praise team, they're like, we like it for about 2 weeks. I'm like, no, I want it like half the year.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we got some good music. Y'all been playing some good music for sure. Got some good stuff to come, I know, and look forward to it, man.
As always. Cool. Well, I reckon, unfortunately, Jared won there, and we could talk about that race, but that's about all the racing that was going on this weekend. So.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. Got Chili Bowl coming up soon, and
yeah,
a few other things there, but there's not a whole lot of racing going on right now.
Nope, but I do want to talk to you about something real quick. Just something I thought of real quick. A couple things happening. NASCAR, well, not NASCAR announcing it, the Race Team Alliance coming out saying, that they possibly, soon as the end of 2023 season, could possibly take, or Cup drivers or Cup teams anyway, be running some exhibition races, I guess, at, kind of non-NASCAR sanctioned tracks and stuff like that. I want to ask you what you think. I mean, I think it sounds cool, but what do you think about it? I mean, getting down in it a little more.
Well, I kind of agree with them because it's kind of like their hands are tied, and NASCAR just kind of tells them what they're going to be able to make. And, honestly, I think the teams do everything. I mean, they contribute everything to the sport of NASCAR and bring in fans and bringing the money to the sport. And if they can't get the money that they need, and again, we talked about it before, I know they're making money, no doubt about it. But obviously they're not making what they feel like they should or could make. So they want to branch out and do their own thing and bring that brand of their team or what have you to another venue outside of NASCAR. And, however they may change that up, I don't know. I can't blame them for it. I really can't because, kind of like a Legends Car Series. You're so limited now because you can't get this and you can't get that. If you had another organization step out and say, look, we're going to run these Legends cars, we're going to run these tires, and you can get them all you want or whatever you want to do, and we're going to pay more money, and you don't have to buy every single thing from this. It would make it more apt for you to go run it. So I can understand that a little bit. I mean, I really, it's different. It's totally different than what we've known in the past. But I guess they just fed up with it, man. I guess so.
Well, I mean, they said that there would be no competition to NASCAR per se, or any of that, which is all well and good, whatever. I mean, I personally think that they're just trying to call a bluff. I do.
Right, yeah. Try to get more money from it, right.
I think that's exactly what it is. I think they're trying to call a bluff. This is not actually the first time this has happened over, over the course of motorsports, period. This is actually kind of what happened with the IRL Indy split. I mean, IRL kart split. It very similar situation. I don't think it's going to come down to a split because I think they know where their bread is buttered. But I think this is the whole TV negotiation thing, and they're trying to, like I said, they're calling their bluff. They're telling them, oh, we can't give you any more money out of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're like, all right, well, if you can't give you any more money out of it, I'll go make our own exhibition deal. We'll get our own TV money out of it. Well, NASCAR turns around and says, well, if they're making an exhibition deal, basically, we could put NASCAR name on it. We could get more TV money out of it.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what's happening there. They're trying to call it, and I'm waiting to see who breaks first. I think NASCAR's they're gonna have to break. I think they really got them over a barrel. But the problem is, just like you talk about, there's zero competition with NASCAR. There's not another NASCAR-like stock car series out there. There's not.
Right.
And as there is of most things. I mean, there's just like drag racing, NHRA. There's not another NHRA. There used to be, I guess IHRA is still around, I guess. I don't know if they are or not, really.
They've definitely dissolved a lot of what they used to.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. There was competition there. Well, there's not any competition anymore. So it's kind of the same everywhere. I don't know, because you're not supposed to test these cars. So I don't think they'd even be able to run a car like that.
Right.
So I don't know. It's like I said, I just think they're trying to call bluff. But that leads me into the next topic too. Goes right along with that. Oh God, I just had a brain fart. What's Tony Stewart's series name? The SRX series. That's it. God, whew, too many letters. Announced that they are going to ESPN on Thursday nights, which I think is
that's going to be
awesome.
a big difference.
I think that is an awesome move.
For sure. And I know they had to pay, I'm sure, to get that, but I think the viewership's going to be doubled because I don't have CBS Sports. I can't watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's definitely going to be a big move for them.
And I also think that I know that's not going to be another NASCAR series per se, by no means, but I do believe that that's going to, on Thursday nights, that's going to free up Cup drivers to come race.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's another, point of it. You could put, especially, any of dirt or asphalt, any of it, you could put those cars, as they've showed, on some awesome half-mile racetracks. And, in all honesty, they could bring those cars right over here to Florence Motor Speedway, Dillon Motor Speedway, either one. They could come right here to us. Now, you're very limited on what you can do seating-wise, but I think they know that. And I think you could pair them with other racing. Just like the Cars Tour and, other stuff like that. I'm not necessarily going to say you could pair it with the World of Outlaws. I don't think you really could just because the length of those shows. But you could easily do it with like Carolina Clash series.
Right.
And make that a cool night of racing on a Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think it's better for them. I think they're looking for more crowd via TV than in the stands anyway.
Yeah.
So, I think going to ESPN is gonna draw that, gonna have that, and get that money avenue that way versus worrying about filling stands up.
Exactly. Also, want to point out here. Let me pull up this just to make sure I am right on everything. But did you see new World of Outlaws payout scale compared to the Lucas Oil payout? And this is all for the points stuff at the end of the year. Lucas Oil payouts, plus Lucas Oil has adopted the playoff type format.
Yep.
World Outlaws didn't change too much. 150,000, I think it is, to win. I personally like the payout scale a little more in World of Outlaws. It's not as much to win, but it's distributed a little bit more evenly throughout the field.
Yep. Which I think is going to draw more, for sure, I think.
Well, Chris Madden, let's see, Peyton Freeman, they both, I know, have already, committed to World Outlaws, which, Chris Madden kind of did that XR thing last year. And that's been because all this came out at PRI. About the World Outlaws pay, the Lucas Oil schedule with the their payouts, with the playoffs. All that came out PRI, and then there was some comments made, and it was really funny. And I'm not going to even throw names, but there were some announcers and some promoters throwing out some comments on social media. Basically, going at the XR series and coming back, saying people are trying to steal people out from under. I mean, it didn't necessarily point that out and say, and just, I don't know, they were kind of talking junk. But XR is like, well, come run with us and run them. Well, that's fine, but I think some guys are getting mad with XR because stuff like it just happened with Gateway. Yeah, Gateway is not a sanctioned necessarily per se event, but that race was scheduled. Well, XR came up and scheduled the race there at Alltech afterwards, knowing that was going to be there. Now, granted, they can't have that many at Gateway. It turned out fine. But, and I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, but there's a lot of people that go to Gateway, late model wise. You got your front runners. I mean, you do. You got your, let's see who all was out there. You got your Brandon Shepard. You got your Turbo. You got, quite a few guys. Our buddy Will Harrington, he was front runner. I mean, bunch of guys. But then you got guys finishing in there that you haven't really heard of. They were, and that's fine. I have zero problem with them qualifying in. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But it's your typical ones that just runs the big series and stuff. They're the ones at the top. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be. I mean, they got the most experience. I mean, I'm like, that's just what it is. Why do you want to split up a field like that?
Yeah, well, and we got a track here locally, a go-kart track, Paradise, and the track owner did the same thing. He still does.
Well,
he tries to throw big money races on top of other races that's been annually on the same dates for years.
Yeah.
And I think they just do that for a pull or to say that they can. Or I don't know, but it's just a bad look. Yeah, that's what I feel. It's just a bad look. Honestly, it is, and it does. It divides the fields, and it shows talent from local talent, I guess, that's able to go run it that normally wouldn't make the field, makes it, and it showcases them, but it doesn't show the true
who is the best of the best.
Your true level of talent, right. So, I agree. I don't think they'll ever get. I don't think they'll ever get Lucas or World of Outlaws to be in agreement with them and try to schedule things around their stuff because the way they've gone, over their dates without question. I mean, that's just bad. That's just bad business. That's just something that's been established for years, and then you're gonna come in and try to just step foot on top of dates that's been planted. I don't like that.
Well, if you look back at it, that's what they did with their first race, which was Bristol.
Right.
When we were there, Jonathan Davenport, everybody thought was going. I forgot what race was that weekend, but it was a Lucas Oil race because he had ran Lucas Oil for years and years and years. Well, they were paying way more at Bristol. Jonathan stayed at Bristol and, dropped any chance he had of winning the championship. And ever since then, he has not run for points in anything anymore.
Right.
I mean,
you've talked.
Oh, yeah, it definitely has. I mean, you've talked about that multiple times. I mean, just like Jerry and Fryar were just talking, they didn't run a point series because they were just kind of picking and choosing and going for money races. We've talked about this 1,000 times, and I feel like there's pros and cons to all of it, but my biggest point is, I think, and I think XR is probably doing this right. In order, and you see World of Outlaws and Lucas Oil pay stepped up this year, but they're still not paying per race what XR is. Now, granted, they have a lot more races. You've got to put the money there to entice these guys to stay with the tour. If not, they're going to do just what a lot of these guys have done, what Chris Madden's done last year, what Jonathan Davenport's done, and what many, many other ones have done. Drop off the tour, chase the money. I can't blame them.
No.
Because you really, and don't get me wrong, I hate to take it away from Dennis Erb winning the World Outlaws, or daggone, who won the Lucas Oil?
McCready, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tim McCready. I don't want to take away from Tim McCready, especially Tim McCready or Dennis Erb. I think I don't care where you put them, they can still come out front. But how many were really left on the tour by the end of the year? World Outlaws, you had Dennis Erb. I don't even remember. I mean, there was Max Blair. I think there was a handful. Lucas Oil, about the same. It kind of drops the credibility of the series.
Oh, it definitely does, for sure. I mean, basically, you just run all the races and you run decent up front, and you got a championship. Because I mean, you just don't have that every race like you used to.
Nope. So we'll see what we got there. Them two's answer. We'll see what XR's answer is here shortly. I imagine they'll something will come out with them. Who knows?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who knows? Oh well. Well, cool. What else we got?
I don't know it, man. I think that's about it. I'm about to wind down and head back to work in a little bit before I know it.
I hear you. I feel like I'm about to do that same thing myself. Well, cool deal. Well, we appreciate our guest today, Aaron from SRI Indy for Hot Laps. Jared Fryar, coming off his win there at Carteret County. But as always, want to thank everybody that supports us: Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, RK Motorsports Consulting, MPM Marketing. Really appreciate them. Also, High Octane Racing Apparel. Head over there and get you some cool looking stuff from High Octane Racing Apparel for Christmas. Get all stocked up. I saw some beanies come out. I need me some. My head is cold.
No, I ain't kidding.
Also, Checkered. They are the race hub, ladies and gentlemen. Head over to Checkered. All racing all the time. Social media. So get on Checkered if you're not already. Also, Forward Bite Apparel, guys. Y'all head over there. Check them out. Check out Cole Vanderheiden after just finishing up his freshman year there of 305 Race Saver Sprints. Doing awesome in it. Be looking forward to him going into 2023. But anyway, guys, we sure appreciate y'all hanging out with us this week, and I reckon we'll be back next week, same time.
Later.